The United Nations Children's Fund stated that Rwanda has made significant progress in safeguarding children's rights within its justice system. However, it noted that more efforts are still needed, especially in cases involving children who commit offenses punishable by law, as highlighted by Dominic Mutanga, Deputy Representative of UNICEF in Rwanda.
Rwanda has made significant progress around promoting and protecting a child-friendly justice system. But be that as it may, we need to build on that foundation so that the system becomes more child-friendly. So there are different pieces that Rwanda has done, and we are working to try and bring those pieces together so that we promote the best interest of the child in every aspect of the justice system. We have children that are in conflict with the law. We want to make sure that if that happens, these children don't end up losing their childhood. They don't end up losing the opportunity to grow and develop in a way that helps them to contribute meaningfully to Rwanda's development. So this symposium is looking at two parts. One is the preventive aspects. What can we do to prevent children from being in conflict with the law? And that conversation brings in the family, the institutions, the frontline institutions such as the family, but also the schools and the community. And this is why we also have NCDA. Then we have the other aspect of this equation, which is about the actual justice system, to say, if children are in contact with the law or in conflict with the law, how should they be treated as they transition through the system? And for that, we want to make sure that the system is very child-friendly. What does that mean? It means that when children are being interviewed, if they've been in conflict with the law, that the person that is interviewing them understands that the children are in fear because they are children, and that everything to the best extent possible is done to ensure that these children are protected, that they are supported, and that eventually when they go through the system, that they do not end up being traumatized, and that they are supported to transition. But the best option that we are hoping for is prevention and diversion, so that we prevent them from coming into the system, but also that we prevent them from committing any crimes. But then, if and when they do, that they are diverted and they are handled and supported in a manner that helps us to promote the best interests of the child.
During a two-day meeting bringing together all institutions involved in child protection in Rwanda, discussions focused on how to first and foremost help children avoid committing crimes that lead them into the justice system. For those who do end up in the system, the aim is to support them through a process in a way that enables them to emerge as responsible citizens who contribute positively to the country. UNICEF emphasized that it is working to support children themselves, their caregivers, families, and other stakeholders to better understand children's rights, noting that limited awareness remains a major challenge.
Any government in the world, one of the big responsibilities is to enact the laws to create an enabling environment for these protections to happen. And Rwanda has done that. Rwanda has created an enabling environment by creating the laws that would allow for this. So this symposium is also in part, a part of this is going to reflect on some of the gaps that are there. So what are some of the gaps? Some of the gaps are, for instance, the professionals, right? The professional workforce that are specifically trained to support children in dealing with the issues that are specific to children. There is a gap there, and UNICEF has invested in that. In working with the government, we have supported the institutionalization of a diploma that would then support professionals, because law is not just about what's written on paper; it's also about enacting that and also making sure that it's actually lived. So we have supported as UNICEF both in terms of the frameworks that guide the protection in terms of the legal frameworks, but we are also supporting the capacity development of the professionals that will then be placed within the system to be able to respond to some of the issues. Then, because the law is not just about what happens, or justice is not just about what happens in the court system. It's also about what happens at the family level. UNICEF has also been investing in positive parenting. So we have worked very closely with the NCDA to support the development of positive parenting guidelines, so that already we have a preventive mechanism, because families are the first lines of defense, to ensure that young people understand that what should happen in terms of the protection of their rights. We are also always raising awareness across the institutions that we are working with, that children are rights holders. They should not just be treated as subjects of the law, but that they should be treated as rights holders who have full rights, and that we as parents, we as community, we as government, we as partners who are supporting the government, that we are duty bearers. We must work together to promote and protect the rights of children. And rights, are extensive. We're not just talking about the right to justice, but also like rights to education, to water, and so forth and so on, that we work together to protect those rights. So one of the sections in UNICEF that works with we have a child protection section, obviously, that works around protecting the rights of children, but we also have another area that's called social behavior change, which is about addressing the social norms or the barriers that keep us from fully exercising the rights of children. So one of the things that UNICEF actively does is community engagement to promote the rights of children. And this is not just about the right to clean water, to education, but also nutrition and so forth. So sometimes we run campaigns, we work with the government, with the different ministries to ensure that children are protected. There's also, we talked about homes, but we know that now children are not just living, they are not, the environments where children are is not just the physical space. Children are also now spending a lot of time online. So we are working with the Ministry of ICT to ensure that there is child safety online. So the violations of rights that tend to happen are not just happening in the physical space, they are also now happening in the digital space. And from the physical to the digital space, UNICEF is working with the government to promote and protect the rights of every child in Rwanda.